Somewhere in nature right now, a bird is dragging an enormous decorative tail through the undergrowth. Another is clearing leaves off a jungle floor, preparing a stage for an audience of one deeply unimpressed female. These are not accidents. These are strategies. I am Sir Nigel Wingman, naturalist, observer, and veteran of enough romantic catastrophes to recognize commitment when I see it. Welcome to Wild Rizz. Let us begin. Observe the peacock, a creature so deeply committed to its own aesthetic. It evolved into decorative furniture. Now, before we discuss the tail, an important clarification. The peacock does not believe he is showing off. The peacock believes he is simply presenting facts. The male spreads an enormous fan of iridescent feathers, covered in elaborate eye-like patterns, and begins vibrating them in a precisely controlled shimmer, not shaking, not flapping, vibrating. There is an important distinction. Now, those feathers are genuinely, catastrophically impractical. They are heavy, biologically expensive to grow, visible to predators with the subtlety of a fireworks display, and they reduce flight capability to what I would generously describe as enthusiastic falling. This animal sacrificed aerodynamic dignity for brand recognition, which, I will confess, reminds me painfully of a phase in my early 30s. And yet, it works, because in nature, extravagance is not mere decoration. It is information. A peacock who has survived long enough to grow a tail that enormous is communicating something very specific. I have excellent genetics, a strong immune system, and apparently enough free time to become a walking art installation, which is, historically, a compelling argument. The female, for her part, is entirely unmoved by theatrics. She inspects the display with the focused detachment of a government auditor reviewing suspicious expenses, size, symmetry, pattern complexity, movement quality. Scientists believe females prefer tails with more elaborate eye patterns because they signal stronger parasite resistance, meaning beauty in nature is at its core a health report, which feels profoundly unfair to several men I attended university with. Rejection, naturally, is frequent. A peacock may spend years developing spectacular plumage. A female may glance at the result for 4 seconds and walk away. No explanation, no debrief. Nature invented being left on red and gave it feathers. And the male, no bitterness, no podcast appearance, no lengthy commentary about modern females and declining standards. He simply closes the tail, waits, and opens it again for the next one. Truly elite mentality. The peacock did not merely evolve an attractive feature, he evolved a brand. And like all great brands, he committed to it completely, regardless of how ridiculous it looked from behind. However, visual dominance alone has its limits, because deeper in the rainforests of New Guinea, another creature decided that beauty was merely the starting point, and that what the female truly required was a full theatrical experience, produced, directed, and choreographed by one extremely determined, very small bird. Meet the bird of paradise, a creature operating under one singular, dangerous conviction. If I commit hard enough, she will stay. A philosophy I personally endorsed for the better part of 2 marriages. Now, The males of various bird of paradise species perform courtship displays so elaborate, so physically bizarre, so aggressively committed, that naturalists seeing them for the first time historically questioned whether the footage was real. It is real. It is simply also deeply unhinged. Before performing, the male prepares a stage. He clears the ground of debris, removes leaves, adjusts fallen branches. Essentially, venue preparation, because the performance must have appropriate production value. The male bird of paradise is simultaneously the artist, the choreographer, the set designer, and the event coordinator for an audience of one deeply unimpressed female. Now, depending on species, the actual performance may involve rearranging his feathers into shapes that no longer resemble a bird, transforming himself into a floating black disc with two iridescent blue eyes, bouncing rhythmically across branches like a caffeinated Victorian, producing mechanical clicking sounds from his own body, or creating optical illusions through feather geometry so precise that researchers only understood them recently using high-speed cameras. All of this for one female who watches from above with the expression of someone evaluating a job applicant they have already mentally rejected. The pressure is genuinely extraordinary. Years of practice, because young males often spend years rehearsing before becoming remotely competent. One performance window. And if the female is dissatisfied, she leaves mid-routine. Imagine training for a decade, performing the most physically demanding thing your body is capable of, and your audience flies into the jungle. Approximately 40 seconds in, no feedback, no notes. No, that was good. But the third sequence felt rushed. Nothing. Just the sound of distant trees. Scientists believe females are selecting for coordination, cognitive ability, and stamina. Meaning what looks like complete madness is actually a highly efficient evaluation system. The female is not unimpressed. She is measuring, which is frankly the most sophisticated thing in this entire episode. The bird of paradise is proof that attraction is not always about looking the part. Sometimes it is about performing with such total catastrophic commitment that the universe has no choice but to take you seriously. I have attempted this strategy personally. The results were educational, and so the peacock mastered presence, the bird of paradise mastered performance. One says, "Look at me." The other says, "Watch what I can do." Both are by any rational measure completely over the top, and both survive, which perhaps confirms what I have suspected for many years. Moderation is overrated. I have been Sir Nigel Wingman, explorer, observer, mildly superior. If today's catastrophes were educational, do consider subscribing. New disasters arrive every week. Until next time, maintain your standards, hold your display, and if a female walks away mid-performance, she was simply not the target demographic. The jungle is large. Begin again.